Hi, this is Sweet June. How's everybody doing today? Think I'm coming down with a cold. Trying to get my lighting perfected in this room here. It's like I'm made this room into my studio, office slash studio, and I'm trying to get the lighting just right in here. Like I said, I had to change my light bulb in the ceiling. It broke. I had two sides of the light. The light bulb broke off on one side, so we had to put the light bulb on the other side. So now it's like cutting off the light on this side of the room. And I got my lamp sitting here. I have two lights in. And so now it's kind of dark on this side. So now I have to try to find something to get some type of lamp or something on this side of the room. So still a work in progress. Still have to do videos for my tablet. So I guess gotta do the best I can. Anyway, you guys can see me for the most part. Anyway, we'll get it together. I was reading the blogs on Facebook. Something is just, I had to address this because I'm just reading the blogs on Facebook, and everything that Ciara, the singer Ciara, apparently got married. I guess she had a child from a previous relationship, and she got married. And now she's expecting a baby from her husband. Well, apparently, this is really disturbing to me. Guys are coming on the blogs calling her all kind of hoes and everything, and I had to address it because this is crazy. And I'm like, I don't understand. I'm having a hard time understanding why she's getting judged having a baby by her husband. She's married. She got married first. And now she's legally married, and she's having a baby by her husband. Now, if I remember correctly, the Bible says that once you get married, you can have babies by your spouse. I think that's what the Bible says. The Bible says that when you get married, you can have babies by your spouse. So she got married. Maybe it's the first time. She wasn't married, but she did it right the second time. She went and got married first, and now she's expecting a baby by her husband. So what I don't understand is why is she getting called names and getting all this judgment and criticism for having a baby by her husband? This is what I'm struggling with. This is what I'm having a hard time understanding. I don't understand why Ciara's getting criticized for having a baby by her husband. And then some people are saying that she's having the baby too soon. And I'm like, first of all, why is you in this woman's business like this? Second of all, I don't understand why she's getting criticized for having a baby by her husband. This man is her husband. She is legally married and spiritually married to this man. So what is the problem with her having a baby by her husband? According to the scriptures, it's okay to have a baby by your husband. It's not okay to have a baby outside of marriage. But according to the Bible, it is okay to have a baby by your husband. So what I don't understand is why are people criticizing her for having a baby by her husband? This man is, in fact, her husband. So why is there such a big issue with her having a baby by her husband? And this is very disturbing to me. This is very disturbing to me. I was reading the blogs, and these men are coming forth. I'm assuming they're black men. They're coming forth and calling her all kind of hoes and stuff for having a baby by her husband. And I don't get it. I don't. You guys in the comment section, explain it to me. Why? I don't understand it. Explain that to me. Why? How are you judging a woman for having a baby by her husband? I mean, I just don't get it. And it just made me think. It just made me think about. It just seems like black women can't do anything right. It just seems like no matter what us black women do, we're going to get criticized. It just seems like no matter what we do, we're going to get criticized. This is just ridiculous. I just think it's ridiculous that she's being criticized for having a baby by her husband. This man is legally her husband, and she has every right to have a baby by her husband. So I don't understand where all the judgment is coming from. I don't understand why she's being judged for having a baby by her husband. I just don't get it. I mean, what is the problem? Why are people calling her whores for having a baby by her husband? I just don't get it. I'm reading that and I'm reading it in disbelief. I'm like, seriously? I said, I don't understand it. I don't get it. I mean, explain it to me in the comment section why she's being criticized and called all kinds of horrible names, every name but the child of God, for having a baby by her husband. You know, I just think it's crazy. It just seems like no matter what us black women do, we're going to get criticized and ridiculed. And it's just ridiculous. She did it right the second time. Well, I mean, she might have had one outside of marriage the first time because she has a child from a previous relationship. But she did it right the second time. She did it right the second time, and she got married first, and now she's expecting a baby by her husband. So what is the problem? What is the problem with her having a baby by her husband? Why are people calling her a whore for having a baby by her husband? I don't get it. Explain that to me. Explain that to me how is Ciara being criticized and judged for having a baby by her husband. I don't get it. I don't understand it. This man is her husband. She has every right to have a baby by her husband. First of all, people need to stay out of her business. That's her business. It's between her and her husband. First of all, people need to get a life. Why are you criticizing someone that's having a baby by their husband? You know, you got too much time on your hands. You need to get a life. I don't understand why people are doing this. This is not a loving thing to do, people. This is not a loving thing to criticize someone for doing the right thing. She got married first, and then she had the child. Okay? She did the right thing. Now, I just don't get it. I don't understand it. Explain that to me. How do you criticize someone for having a baby by their husband? What is the world coming to? Well, it's coming to an end for one. But I don't understand this. It just seems like no matter what us black women do, we get criticized. We're going to get criticized and ridiculed no matter what we do. It's just crazy. I mean, black men couldn't pick something else to be outraged about. You couldn't find something else to be outraged about. So you had to pick on this poor woman for having a baby with her husband. She did it right. Like first time she had a baby outside of marriage. It still shouldn't be getting judged for that because the Bible says judge and you will be judged. Okay? So according to the Bible, we have no right to judge anybody. And second of all, she got married the second time first, and then now she's having a baby by her husband. So what is the problem? Why are people criticizing her for having a baby by her husband? I don't get it. I don't understand it. I'm outraged. I was reading the blogs, and I was like, are you serious? I said, this can't be right. This can't be right. And they wrote a whole article about it. I'm like, this is ridiculous. How are you criticizing someone for having a baby by her husband? And then some people are saying it's too soon. What business of that is it of yours? It is none of your business if this woman, I don't care if she got pregnant on the wedding night. It is not your business. That is between her and her husband. They made a mutual decision of what was the best time to plan a family. Okay? That is between Ciara and her husband. Okay? It's none of your business. You need to go to work, get a job, pay your bills, do something. It has nothing to do with your life, your bills, your family, or whatever it is that's you going on in your life. It has nothing to do with you. It is not your business. Okay? If her and her husband think it's the best time to plan a family, that's their business. Okay? It has nothing to, what business of it is it of yours? It is none of anybody's business. The Bible says people should stay out of married people's affairs. Okay? The Bible clearly states that we need to stay out of married people's affairs. It is between her and her husband. It has nothing to do with us. It has nothing to do with our bills. It has nothing to do with our families. It absolutely has anything to do with nobody. It's none of anybody's business. That is between her and her husband. They thought that this was the best time to plan a family. And that's fine. They are married. They are legally married, and they have every right to plan a family at whatever time they want to plan it. It doesn't make a difference. I don't care if it was on the wedding night. She was legally married to this man. So she has the right to have a baby by her husband. She is pregnant, in fact, pregnant by her husband. And she has every right to plan a family with her husband. What is the problem? I mean, you know, like I said in my other video, black men need to be worried about. There's so many other things that they should be concerned about. There's so many other issues that they need to be worried about. Police profiling, police brutality, police shootings. Do I continue the list? The list goes on. There's a whole lot of other things that black men need to be worried about. Instead of worried about how black women are wearing their hair, instead of worried about black women that are married and having kids, black men have bigger fish to fry. They have bigger fish to fry, so to speak, and they need to be worried about more important issues than to be worried about Ciara having a baby by her husband. Really? Okay, I'm outraged. I read that and I couldn't believe it. I was like, I can't believe this. I can't believe that they're criticizing this woman for having a baby by her husband. I just can't believe it. I'm like, what is the world coming to? The woman is married. She's legally married. She has every right to have a baby by her husband. This is like the situation with my girl, Janet Jackson. She's 50 years old, and people are criticizing her for having a baby at 50. If Janet wants to have a baby at 60, that's her business. If she's married, and she has every right to have a baby by her husband. Janet is married. I don't care if she's 60. If she wants to have a family, if she's ready to start a family with her husband, she has every right to do so. If you remember Sarah in the Bible, I forget how old Sarah was, but Sarah in the Bible had a baby, okay, and she was old up there in years, okay. So Janet is 50 years old. She's a married woman, and it's perfectly fine for her to have a baby, if she could safely do so. Then she's under the doctor's care, so she's married, and she has every right to have a baby. People have been talking about Janet for having a baby at 50. Well, she's married, so she can have a baby at 50 if she wants to. So, I just think people just need to stay out of other people's business, particularly married people. The Bible says we should not get involved in married people's affairs. We need to stay out of married people's affairs. Ciara is a married woman. She has every right to have a baby by her husband. The people that are criticizing her and judging her for having a baby by her husband need to mind your business. Mind your business. Work with your hands and pay your bills. Work with your hands and mind your business, like what the Bible says. Okay? Stay out of married people's affairs. It's none of your business. Ciara is having a baby by her husband. She did it right the second time. We should be commending her and congratulating her, not criticizing her. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think. But I'm outraged. This is crazy. Bible says, judge and you will be judged. So be careful who you judge. Okay. Hit me up in the comment section. This is Sweet Jules. God bless.